today I'm going to show you how in about 5 minutes you can do an automation that will take all the analytics every single day from your lead gen campaigns and put them in Google Sheets, Airtable, or whatever other database you use, so that you can have all the data analytics from every single campaign and even platforms in one place, and you can do all your data analysis and improve your campaign. So it's super quick, super easy. Let's get into this. I'm using Airtable, but as I said, you can use Google Sheets or something else. But the main thing you have to know is that you need to have two tables, one for campaigns and one for analytics. Now, you could have one just for campaigns and put the analytics there, but you wouldn't put it per day, you would maybe put it per week or per month, and it would update it like that. But for this, I want to really show you how to do it properly per day, so we're going to do two tables. So the first one for campaigns, we have campaign name, the status, the ID, so this will be the ID that you have on the sending platform, and then the email. You can have more things like the emails you're sending or other information that you may want to have, but the main important ones are the name, the status, and the campaign ID. So once you have this on the campaigns table, then you create an analytics table that you have dates as the primary column, because we want this to be every single day and we want to filter by the date. And then you will have here a link column that links to another record, so to the campaigns record. This is in Airtable. In Google Sheets, you can just put the campaign ID and then link it to a different table in Google Sheets. But as you can see, if you click on the plus, we can select here whatever campaign it would be added to this row. And then if we go to the campaigns, there is an additional field that will appear once you create that field in analytics with the record. Now it says unnamed because I don't have a name on the dates, but if I put here, for example, today's dates, it will appear. Now let's hide this one because we don't actually need it. And now the other main points that you want to have is whatever data you want to grab. So in this case, total emails sent, replies, positive replies, and bounces. And from these, then you can also do formulas to get the percentages of reply rate, bounce rate, etc. And you can put much more information here, like not interested or out of office or many others. But the base level is this. So once you have these two, we are going to automate grabbing the campaign data. And for that, we are going to use Make. So this is an automation tool, very easy plug and play, that you will see how to do this. So the first step is, once you go to Make and you go to scenarios and you click a new scenario, you are probably going to see something like this, like an empty page. You are going to click on the plus and then choose either Google Sheets, Airtable, or whatever database you're using. So you would click here, for example, let me show you Google Sheets, and then you are going to look for search rows. And why search? Because we want to look for a specific result from these rows. So I use Airtable for this example, and you can see here that it's the search records. And then what you have to do is you select in which base, which table, database, etc. And you want a formula on the search to be when the status is in progress, or whatever name you give here to the campaigns to know that they are currently active. So it could be active, could be in progress, could be whatever. Now, you need to know that name so that you can filter for that, because we don't want to grab data from campaigns that are either stopped and we don't want to grab data from them, or I don't know, you will have your own reasons, archived, etc. The limit, put a high number, depending on how many campaigns you have live. Maybe you need to put more, or you can put less. Just put 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, whatever you want, and you'll be good. And then, well, if you have 1 million, by the way, then you would probably not use this. You would do a different automation, but that's another story. And then once you create this, you want to have this little clock, which is when this will run. And so since we are doing data for every single day, like a daily data of the campaigns, we are going to select every day and then the time. So here, this depends on if you're doing this for yourself or if you have a lead gen agency or just a marketing agency and doing campaigns data for your clients. Because you have to know that if it's for yourself, you're just going to put midnight on your own time zone. But if you're working a lot with clients on a different time zone, maybe you would want this to run on their own time zone. So you'd have to play around a bit with that. So let's say we're doing it just for ourselves. So we would put maybe midnight 30, which would mean that every single day at this time, we're going to put not yet, let's not run it yet. This campaign would run, grab all the data, and then put it inside Airtable for the day that just passed. So today is the 28th, and so when the 29th at midnight 30, we would grab all the data from the 28th. And you can see that it makes sense, because if we grab the data at 10 o'clock, we would lose 2 hours of data for that specific day, right? So we always have to get the previous day worth of data. Now, we are going to add, after creating this one module, which is an HTTP request. So if you go to the modules, you are going to see this HTTP, and you're going to select the make a request one. And it's going to appear like this, where you have to put the URL for the SmartLead API. And so SmartLead API is super straightforward. Email Bison is also super straightforward. Instantly also, there's not a big, friction to understand how they work, especially the analytics part. I can understand maybe creating campaigns and doing other things can be, you may have to have a bit more of experience, or it will take more time, but the campaigns is super easy. So for SmartLead specifically, you can see here in their API docs that they have this campaign statistics one. And you can do just normal statistics. You can do it by date, which is what we are going to do for part of this. And you can get warm-up statistics also. And then you have top-level campaigns besides the normal analytics. Like you have top-level analytics and just analytics. So if you open them, you are going to see how to do this. So you are going to see that you can enter this URL, enter the campaign ID, look for statistics, and then you have to put your API key here. And then you can also add some offsets and limits if you want, that they say here. And then if you click on this result part, you will see how a positive result, a positive response from it would, what it would give. And so you would test this all in Make. So how you do this is you copy that little URL to the URL part, and then on the campaigns, you will have something like this. So let me do it like this, campaign, right? You have something like this. You are going to erase it. And here in the middle, you are going to select where it says campaign ID from your Airtable records. And that's why we need to have the campaign ID here, so that we know which campaigns we are fetching analytics from. Then the API key, you will have the API on your settings in whatever platform you use. So just grab that and paste here. This is obviously a fake key. You just paste it here and it should work, and it will work. The method is get, so you're just getting things, you're not updating anything. And the important part here is for these HTTP request modules is to parse the response. So you want it to, when you run, you want to be able to select it. So what happens is it will appear like this. You'll be able to select, bounces, email sent, replies, etc. And if you don't parse it, you will basically not be able to select, and you have to do other things. So parse the response for all of these requests for the API. So this one, for the analytics, is going to give us the total analytics as I wrote here. So this is just a renaming. I just named it total analytics, but this is going to give the total analytics for this campaign. So it's not the previous day data, it's total data. And you may want to use that for, I put it here because you may want to use this for some general data that you want to put. I'm not going to use it for these specific columns that we put here, but you may want to have it for some other math that you want to do. So I wanted to put it here because it's very useful to have, really. Then these ones that say daily is the ones for the day. So there's a small tweak that we need to do. These ones are the top level analytics and the analytics, of course, by date, because we are filtering them both by date. Now, why having both? You could use just the top level analytics, but I've had an issue in the past where one of the emails sent in top level analytics wasn't really good. So I prefer to use emails sent from analytics by date and everything else from top level analytics. And for you to have an idea of what I'm talking about, here on their API, super easy to see again. We go here to the date, for example. So this is the one that says analytics in general. And you can see that you have here start date and date, okay, but then you have the sent count, unique sent count, open, etc. I prefer to grab the unique sent count from this one. And everything else you can, of course, grab the replies, the bounces, etc. You can even unsubscribes. You can grab them from here. But what I do is on the top level analytics, we have a bunch more results. And yeah, I usually only use these ones. Again, I prefer to have the total unique emails sent from the analytics and not the top level analytics, because sometimes this doesn't, in the past, hasn't performed well for me. Now, this is where you will grab replies, opens or clicks if you actually track them, which is not recommended, but you do you. The total count of emails sent, if you want, like of that campaign. And then you can have also bounces, fails, and subscribes, and the important one of positive replies. So you'll grab all of them from here. I'm not going to push them here because I don't want to use my API and show you the result. And I'm definitely not going to show you from clients. So you have an idea from these API docs, which is very straightforward because you only need to paste the URL. So as you can see, you just paste the URL here and they say, put the API and put the date. So let me show you here, put the date like this. So what you do is you just copy that URL like we did previously. You put the campaign data either through the data ID of this previous run, or you put this campaign ID. And then after you do the API, and when you have the start date and end date, you have to format the dates to be of yesterday, right? So because we're doing the previous day. So how you do this in Make is a very simple formula that I'm going to do here, down here, so that you can see also. Let's do it here. So what you do is you go to Make, to this formula part here, you click on date, so this one here, and you're going to click format date. So as the name says, we are formatting the dates because we receive the dates in Make in a very special way, which is this one, for example. Sorry, my mistake. You receive it in this format. You can even receive in other formats. So we need to format it to be like this. So you just put the now as the time, but we want to not be the date of today, we want it to be yesterday. So we want to remove one day from the now. So instead of just leaving the now like this, you are going to add days. So you are going to add a day to the time of today, bear with me, and you're going to add a negative day, because instead of being tomorrow, you want to be yesterday. So you can add negative days to get past dates. And so this is how you would do. And then after the semicolon, you would put the, as you see here, they explain very well. After you put the date, you put the format that you want. So in this case, for SmartLeads, they usually put year, month, and day. And so you'd pass it like that. And this is how you'd parse this specific date of yesterday. So as you can see, I just pasted that on this part here for the start date, and exactly the same for the end date. You want both of them to be the same day because you're just grabbing one single day, right? So this is how you do. You do it for this one. You also do it for exactly the same for the analytics by date, instead of being top level analytics by date. Again, I explain you because you can, I prefer to grab it one from here and everything from here, but you can do everything just from one. And then what you can do is once you have all of these, you have to add here again, either Airtable or Google Sheets. And you just add the create a new row or create a record if it's Airtable. And you're going to create a record in the analytics part. So it's going to be the record that has the dates that you're using. So it's very simple. You just connect it. And then on the dates, we are going to put exactly the same format that we did. So format the date, adds a negative day to today, and you will get the day of yesterday. So that will be prompt there. And if you pass it in this format, it will automatically put it, if the column type is date, it will automatically put it as a normal date. And then here we want to connect, where is it? Sorry. Here we want to connect one campaign, like to know which campaigns are connected to this specific analytics. So what you can do, since we started the whole automation with the record, so we are searching for a record, let's say we have 10 campaigns, this is going to run 10 times. So it searches for the first one that's in progress, runs everything, searches for the second, runs third, and so on. And so we have here the campaign, the record ID for the campaigns table, right? So for this table here, we have the record ID for the number 1, number 2, number 3. And so the record ID is this specific here, at least in our table, which says rec from record and then has a little code. And so this is, if you grab that and you paste it on this part that says to add with a little plus sign, if you add the record ID here, it's the same as just selecting the campaign. So it's a nice way for you to connect everything. So you just pass the ID here. How you pass it is you grab the first thing, click on ID, it will be there. And then I didn't run this one, so this is from one that is working. But you would select from here, so inside data, you would have a bunch of things to select, just like you have inside header and inside of cookie. Well, just like you have here inside headers, you would have a bunch of things inside data to choose, which are the results from this. It will be exactly this that you see here. And so you would start selecting on email sent. You want the unique sent count, replies is reply count, positive replies is positive reply count, and then the bounce rate, the bounces, sorry, is bounce count. And so you just select them as you would select normally once they are here, and they will appear all here just like we did for the ID. And that's simple. That's it. That's how you're going to get every single day this at midnight 30, for example, this new data on your database. You have to remember to turn it on, confirm here the time, yep, save everything, and it will run every single day at that time. And then what it will do is for every single campaign you have in progress, it will just create one row, one row, one row for that specific date, and it will be always like this. Then if you want to add stuff like bounce rates, or I don't know, the ratio from email sent to positive replies and things like that, just do formulas as you would do with anything. So in Airtable you can select formula, and then you would select, for example, I don't know, positive replies divided by email sent. So you'd select here positive replies, and then you divide it by email sent, and then you'd multiply it by 100, and you'd have whatever you want. I hope I'm not doing the math wrong. It's too late. Now, that's it. You will have formulas if you want to have formulas, but you will have every single day all the campaigns data here. And then, of course, you can do this for replies. If you want to have a robust system, you can do replies. You can connect the webhooks to know if some email account got disconnected. So this is how you do a very, very simple and quick, because yes, the video can be a bit longer for the explanation, but literally if you do this step by step, it's going to take you around 5 minutes just to set it up. So try it. It's going to be very good because you can put campaigns from, if you're using, let's say, 3 different sending platforms, you can put everything in one. And yeah, it's much easier to control all your campaign data and all your campaigns. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm doing one video every single day for the month of January, which is almost ending. And then I will be doing 1 or 2 videos per week. So the content will not stop. It will only get better as I have more time to do better quality videos. So subscribe, keep watching. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time if you're here until the end, and I'll see you tomorrow.